name is Ergogie Tesfaye. I'm a Minister of Labor and Social Affairs of Ethiopia. It's known that COVID-19 is the biggest threat to the global economy since the financial crisis of 2008. And it's known that ILO is also estimating that the economy of labor crisis created by this COVID could increase global unemployment. It's almost 25 million people will be unemployed. So this also has brought a loss of income, especially in turn affecting prospects of businesses and economies. As of yesterday, the COVID cases in Ethiopia is really increasing, and there are total number of COVID cases are 2,336. So we can imagine that the number is highly increasing. And in Ethiopian case, the Ethiopia's economy following a homegrown economic reform, it was very encouraging, and the economic growth was really registered high. But during this COVID and during this pandemic, as part of the world, our economy is also being affected. The current COVID-19 crisis is challenging the delivery of essential services to the most affected segment of the population. And besides, different economic activities have been also already affected by the economic shocks that's just arising from the pandemic. For instance, different sectors like community market and rural trade centers and intra and interregional trading is also affected. Street vendors are also affected. Tourism and hospitality, entertainment industries, and different sectors like foreign trade sectors like horticulture, textile and garment industries are also affected by this pandemic. When we see also construction and manufacturing industries, especially in the industrial parks, are affected. So we can see that this pandemic is highly affecting the Ethiopian economy. In cognizant to the importance of appropriately addressing the effect of pandemic in all spheres of the country's economy and social arena, the government has established a national COVID response task force, which is headed by His Excellency, the Prime Minister, Dr. Abiy. The mainly duty of this national task force is to set policies and legal instruments regarding responding effectively and addressing the whole breakout of the pandemic and its due consequences. In this regard, our ministry is also being involving actively in this national task force. So that due to the COVID-19 outbreak, the national election schedule has been postponed. We are also under state of emergency in order to strengthen prevention and control of the spread of the virus. In this regard, different activities have been placed by the government. In addition to the social and health-related measures, the government of Ethiopia has introduced interventions to safeguard the economy, including the following, like tax exemption for the import materials related to COVID-19 prevention, and tax break to support different industries and businesses in order to sustain jobs. And the National Bank of Ethiopia also to avail 50 billion Ethiopian birr for private banks. This is also to support businesses. There are also removal of minimum price set by the National Bank of Ethiopia, especially for the horticulture sector, which is highly affected by this pandemic, and for hotel and tourism industries as well. In relation to addressing different societies who are living in poverty, there are 1,350 block-based food banks have been just established. This is to address nearly 400,000 households. In addition to that, our Labor Ministry, in consultation with different social partners, we have prepared and promote a COVID-19 workplace protocol that helped to boost the corporate social responsibility of enterprises and businesses. In addition to that, we also developed checklists for labor inspectors for possible advisory and enforcement of services, together with creating a tripartite virtual platform for monitoring and evaluation. For more than 10 services that our ministry is providing, which had been taken place manually, has been also changed and replaced on online services. On top of that, there are lots of returnees especially from Gulf countries and nearby countries. More than 15,105 returnees have got pre and post arrival assistance, including quarantine, reintegration, and livelihood support. We are also working on wage subsidy just to support low-income workers in different industries that would also support us to sustain jobs accordingly. We are also working on strengthening our social security system. In addition to flagship program that we do have, PSNP, in order to address the most vulnerable part of the society. So these are a few of the actions that the government and our ministry are working in order to combat the impact of COVID-19 in the economy of the country. Response of COVID needs really rigorous efforts at national and global level. What I have learned is, unless otherwise all nations come together and collaborate together to combat this COVID-19, we may not be able to succeed on all the plans in order to save the economy of each and every country. So in this regard, what I have just learned is one of the fastest humanitarian financial mechanisms have to be instrumental in responding to decrease the outbreak of COVID-19, which is a new COVID-19 aid fund has to be established, and access to information and effective communication to public is a very important thing. And apart from that, building partnership across all nations is very, very important, since the virus doesn't affect only one nation or one country. Since it's affecting all human beings, we need to just collaborate all our efforts, all our resources to overcome the challenge of COVID. In addition to this, it is very important to participate community in responding to the COVID and consequently dealing with the manifestation and work more closely with the public health authorities and medias is also very important. So let us strengthen our partnership and collaboration across the globe so that we can overcome the challenge of COVID accordingly. Thank you.